Black fatherhood
all the time. It must be Black fatherhood all the time.
Black fathers, to me, I'm not casting disparity on anybody else, but Black fathers have an added responsibility, because we're building the culture, we're building our reputation, we're rebuilding a lot of stuff that the system has said about us, right, in a negative way. And so we have that added piece to us that we have to do, right? We just can't be a regular father. You gotta be an extraordinary father. You gotta be a role model. You have to be strong. You have to be intelligent. You have to be resourceful. All of those are things that other people may not have to necessarily do, right? Because the system is not set up for us. So yeah, as a Black father, that's what I think we need to do. So as a father of daughters, my lessons to them are, one, you're a powerful young lady, right? And you don't have to depend on anyone. At the same time, to have a husband is a great thing, right? But you also do want to be independent. You want to be strong. You want to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think putting them in front of people who are like that, our vice president at this point, people like that is monumental for them, of course, but then also for me as a father, in showing them examples of who they can aspire to be. And then also, I try to teach my daughters, or everything I do has them in mind. My favorite fatherhood memory, I have so many, but I'll just share one. One is when we were growing up, my dad was a postal worker, and my mom was a school teacher. And so we didn't have like a bunch of money or anything like that. My brother and I, we didn't know at the time that we didn't have a lot. We just, we did certain things. I can remember coming downstairs, it's cold in the house, and my parents turned on the stove in order to heat the house. And we might have to turn on the stove to like dry our clothes, things of that nature, right? And so we didn't have a lot. But I can remember going to the Buckland Hills Mall. This was like around when it first opened, and there was a Foot Locker in there. And at that time, I was a sophomore in high school, and I was trying out for the basketball team, and I needed some sneakers. And so my father said, we'll go in the store, and I wanted these Jordans. I think they were Jordan 10s, beautiful sneakers, but then they had these other sneakers that were sort of like the team sneakers. And in my heart, I wanted the Jordans. I think my father knew that I wanted the Jordans, but I also had in my mind, like, we can't really afford that, so I'm not gonna be selfish. Like, all I need is something to put on my feet. And my father said, well, we'll get these, and if you make the team, then, maybe we'll come back and try to get you the Jordans. So I said, okay. Inside, I was a little disappointed, but I didn't want to disappoint my father because I knew he worked extremely hard. When we wake up, he would go to work at 4 a.m, and then wouldn't get back until like after we were out of school. So he was like a hard worker, and he was doing stuff at the church and in the community and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't want to disappoint him, but I remember going out to the hallway or whatever, and he purchased the sneakers. He came out, he said, all right, just double check, make sure they didn't, mess up with the order or whatever. And I opened them, and they were the Jordans right there. And it was the first Jordans I had ever gotten. Those things, I was talking to some guys today about them. I wore those Jordans for like years. I played first. Initially, it was, I didn't want to try out in them because they were just so fly. Then I played in them. I dogged them. I can remember putting those sneakers in the window in my room just so they would air out after I played. I love those sneakers. And part of it, yeah, they were good looking sneakers, but the other part of it was because my dad got them for me, And so I still have like things from my father to this day, like, you know, sweaters that he had way back in the day. I still have them now, and they still look fly. I'm telling you, my father, people wonder, where do you get it from? A lot of it I get from my father. He says, buy quality, you know, if you have to pay a little bit more, do that. But I still have clothes from my freshman year in college because that's how my dad was. And then part of it as well was we didn't have a lot. So it wasn't like I was just trashing stuff. But you take care of all of your stuff, you know, and to this day, he's like that. And so now when I get him something, I know to get him quality stuff because that's who he is and that's how he is. Even at a point when we didn't have a lot, he exuded the fact that I'm not a second-class citizen. You know what I mean? I have a right to be here. And when you stand next to a man like that, you feel that way as well. Like, no, I deserve to be here, right? I'm a king. And so, yeah, that's probably, it's long and drawn out, but that's my dad. Black fatherhood all the time.